Hi, guys. Welcome back to Crime Time with Jess. So, as you can see from the title, Ryan Anderson speaks out about real reason he and Gypsy are getting a divorce. So, this is per Yahoo. This was reported on Yahoo, and we're just going to get right into this. Okay. So, it says, according to sources, the former convict's ex or estranged beau, Ryan Anderson, is convinced their marriage started going downhill after a suspicious call from her ex, Ken Urker, a calculated move from his perspective. So, Ken Urker, okay, calls Gypsy Rose Blanchard's stepmother, Christy, in January. Gypsy even talked about this and said, oh, he's lurking around and this kind of thing. But he called Christy Blanchard in January, right after Gypsy gets out. Gypsy got out of jail at the very end of December. So by January, Ken Urker's already making the phone call, and he told Christy that he wanted to clear the air and clarify why he left her. Okay. So it says Ken reportedly told Gypsy's stepmother, Christy, that he didn't break things off because of her newfound fame, because that has been reported a lot. It's been reported a lot that, he didn't want the fame. That's why he broke it off. That's never what I've heard. I have always heard that he didn't want to get married in jail. He just didn't think that was right. And that's why he broke it off. He really wanted her to get out of jail and then I guess see where that relationship was going to go, which I always thought that was the right thing. I mean, if you're going to date somebody in jail, please don't marry them in jail. Wait till they get out, figure out who they are, and then if you want to get married, do that. Anyway, so it says, as some sources have claimed, instead he left because he wanted to give his then lover space to grow. His words seem to have impressed Christie, who sources claimed had asked for Ken's relationship status. Why would you do that? Thank you, Miss Peacock. But why would you do that? Your daughter your stepdaughter is married. Her ex fiance's calling you, and you're asking him what his relationship status is. Why? So it says he confirmed to Christy that he wasn't married. However, Gypsy's ex fiance Ken clarified that he wasn't trying to reunite with her. Well, we know that's a lie. Or break up her marriage to Ryan. Mm, Ryan's calling bullshit on that. Okay. I'm also going to second Ryan on that. That's bullshit. So it says, well, that is all BS in Ryan's book, as he suspected Ken only made the call to reinsert himself into Gypsy's life. Insiders told TMZ that he firmly believes his estranged wife's ex was the reason behind their separation, given the suspicious situation. Ryan's suspicions about Ken's alleged attempt to reinsert himself into Gypsy's life were further ignited following a bold move. According to sources, the dynamic between the now estranged couple changed after Ken gave Gypsy's stepmom a ring. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Insiders stressed that Ryan is upset with Ken's involvement in Gypsy's life, noting that it all seemed calculated, especially after the former lovers reunited following the end of his marriage. With Ryan out of the picture, Ken and Gypsy immediately cozied up to each other. And by immediately, they mean like literally within days. And proudly flaunted couple vibes, despite claiming there was nothing romantic between them. Mm. The pair were spotted enjoying the weekend in New Orleans and even got matching tattoos. We know that. They have also been seen holding hands and looking like lovers, touching outings that have only fueled Ryan's suspicion about them. While Ryan suspects Ken played a significant part in his separation from Gypsy, his estranged wife shared a different story. And we all know what that is. Okay. Actually, hey, Jam. Hey, Miss Peacock. But actually, Gypsy has now come out with two different stories. And this is kind of what PR people do. Gypsy's got a little team behind her. Okay. And what PR people do is they throw everything out and they see what sticks. The very first thing that Gypsy said, or her camp said, was that, oh, Ryan, he's a bad guy because he won't let me be around my dad. He's keeping me from my parent, which sounds terrible, but that didn't really stick. It didn't really stick. People talked about it a little bit, but I don't think the public was buying that. We all kind of called BS on that. So that didn't stick. So what do? They now come out with this different story. Ryan's a food hoarder. He's hot as a furnace and all hot while he sleeps. Very ridiculous, petty reasons. Slanderous. Why is this necessary? Why did you need to come out to the public, TMZ of all places, and say this about him? Because have we seen Ryan attacking her? Have we seen Ryan in the public saying, "Oh God, her nose is even worse in person," or "I'm a little scared, guys. She is a convicted murderer. I'm a little scared." No, he has not done any of that. But Gypsy and her team are slandering the shit out of him, in my opinion. And they just have to make her the victim. This is her role. Again, this is the part that she always plays. She is always the victim. So, but whoever's advising her, uh, she needs to get rid of them because they are not leading you down a good road here. Okay. The public is not okay with this. These petty bullshit reasons that your husband stores or he hoards food. And again, even if it's true that Ryan hoards food, that is an eating disorder. Okay. Why are you coming out publicly? Why does the public need to know that about him? Number one, if your husband is struggling with something, that is not people's business. You know what I mean? You don't need to go and tell the whole world about that. How come you didn't try to get him help? How come you didn't say, "Hey Ryan, this isn't really normal. Why don't you go see a doctor?" Ryan seemed very in love with Gypsy. I have to say, he did. He seemed just, you know, in love with her. I never saw that from her. I still don't. I don't know anyone that has ever said, "Hey, me and my husband just separated 2 days ago." And then they're out holding hands and frolicking around town with their ex fiance. That does not speak of someone that loved her husband. Usually, people that get separated, there's some sadness there. There's heartbreak. You're most likely probably venting to your friends or family, or being upset or sad or even angry. You don't see any of that from Gypsy. It's just, hey, Ken, you're not married, Ken. Well, I'm about to not be married too, boo. Let's go get some matching tattoos. So I think what happened here is that, she's always the victim and everybody always thinks she's the victim. She messed up. She messed up by announcing that and then frolicking around New Orleans with Ken for an extended weekend, and she got a shit ton of backlash from that. People had a lot to say about that. And so now I feel like we're in damage control. Well, damage control includes making Ryan this really horrible person. I don't know if Ryan has eating disorders. I don't know any of that. I don't know if he's a food hoarder. I have no idea. But what I do know is that no matter what Ryan, if he does have a food condition or whatever, he's not a freaking convicted murderer. I can tell you that. So, for Gypsy to be getting this restraining order against him and all this crap, ma'am, you're the murderer, not him. I mean, this is preposterous. And also, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it was reported that Ryan took out a restraining on our order on her as well. That is not true. That is not true. What is true is that Ryan has not responded to her restraining order, but he did not file one himself. So we're going to continue this article. Oh, wait. No, no, we're not, because we're just going into her food hoarding. Oh, wait, there is something in here I haven't read before. All right, let's go ahead and read this. It says the tensions over Ryan's food hoarding tendencies reached a boiling point when Gypsy cleared out a refrigerator filled with expired food, allegedly. This is all alleged, okay? This is what she's saying. That doesn't make it a fact, all right? She did this in her estranged husband's absence, and he vehemently reacted upon discovering the empty fridge. This led to the heated argument that sources claim left Gypsy shaken and alarmed. I cannot roll my eyes hard enough on that. By Ryan's temper. Okay. Her friend, Nadia. Who the hell is Nadia? Nadia Vizier. Oh, wait, I do not know that name. Echoed similar sentiments about the fight and noted the former convict had locked herself in the bathroom. Doesn't Gypsy have a thing with locking herself in the bathroom and being a victim? It's the same thing she did when her mother was murdered. She locked herself in the bathroom. Okay. So it says, according to Gypsy's friend, she was terrified by Ryan's heated outburst over the emptied refrigerator. Quote, he got in her face and screamed. Gypsy said that she was afraid he was going to hit her. Again, I cannot roll my eyes hard enough. Quote, he didn't hit her, obviously. He didn't, but that happened in the past with her mother. So her first instinct was to tighten up and be prepared. But she got to safety and called her lawyer too. The following morning, Gypsy reportedly grabbed her things and left the turmoil of her short lived marriage for her father's home in Cutoff, Louisiana. Meanwhile, Ryan reacted to their separation with a social media cleanse. He wiped everything. Um, it's early in April. Ryan had erased every proof of his marriage to Gypsy from his social media pages. Now that's kind of true and half true, because if you go to Ryan's Instagram, yes, on his main Instagram, there isn't anything like Gypsy. But if you go to his previous videos, you can look at them, and there's all the videos of him and Gypsy. So he only on his main page, on his Instagram page, he only left pictures, videos of him and Pixie the dog, etc. Sorry, but and it has been said that Gypsy really didn't like the dog. She just really didn't want to take care of the dog, feed the dog. And as you can see, she left it with Ryan. So all of this stuff is alleged from both sides. But if I'm going to pick a side to believe, it's going to be Ryan's. Because again, the proof is in the pudding. We haven't seen the evidence that Gypsy's been held from her family, as she originally said. We haven't seen any evidence of Ryan's food hoarding, like she said. But what we have seen evidence of is her and Ken Urker together right after she announces the separation. So Ryan's saying, I truly believe that this is what led to this, because if you guys remember, he's only spoke out one time himself. He's only came out one time on Instagram and said what he said. And, what he said was he was blindsided. I believe that he was blindsided. I do. Because if you get in a fight with your spouse and they raise their voice to you, that is not grounds for divorce. You know, she was scared he was going to hit her. it doesn't seem like she was scared he was going to hit her because he went to hit her. She's trying to say, I was scared he was going to hit me because that's how my mom did. Okay, I know he looks like your mother, but he's not your mother. And I just feel like this is going to be a constant theme with her of always everything goes back to her mom. Up, I can't be with this guy. He's doing things that my mother did. It's always stuff like that. And it just shows her complete immaturity that these are grounds in her mind for divorce. I don't How are you ever going to manage any relationship? If you can't manage that your husband snores or that he, buys food in bulk, what? I really wish that she would just stop this nonsense, stop slandering this guy, and I really wish she would just be honest with the public and just say, "Hey, listen, I thought that I was in love with this person, but I'm not. And when I got out, it just didn't work. I'm just not attracted. It's just not for me. And, I don't want to hurt his feelings. I wish Ryan the best, but this marriage just isn't for me." Why she can't do that, I don't know. But lying and manipulating and being the victim just seems to be Gypsy's way. So I'm going to wish Ryan the best. I hope everything works out for him. As far as Miss Blanchard, I guess we're going to have to stay tuned for the rest of her nonsense. But this is it for me for now, guys. I will keep you updated. And until next time, bye for now.